Picture this. You're an anime veteran. You've been in the game for a couple years. You've watched countless anime, more than you can count. It's a Friday night, you're bored. You need something new, something exhilarating. So you do what any other person would do. You go to Google, you search up action anime, and you start scrolling, trying to find something new. You see things that you've seen so many times, nothing of value, until you find something that catches your eye. Now that was me. I was in this same scenario, and I came across this anime called Taboo Tattoo. Yeah, Taboo Tattoo. I click on it. It looks very intriguing. I read the summary of this anime. It's got me. I'm like, this sounds interesting. So like anybody else would do, you go and watch the first episode. Now 5 minutes into this first episode, I see this. Yeah, and this, it blew me out. I was shell shocked. I'm like, whoa, is this underground low-key anime that I've just come across? I'm excited. I finished the first episode and I go to my anime list. I type in Taboo Tattoo, and to my surprise, it has a 5.74 rating. Now I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, why? What I just witnessed is not a 5.74 rating. So I'm like, I gave myself a mission. I'm gonna figure out why this anime has a 5.74 rating. And that I did. And I learned that this anime, Taboo Tattoo, is the definition of...
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
Now I'm gonna show you how I came to this conclusion. Now you probably haven't even heard of a Taboo Tattoo. So I'm gonna take us right to the very beginning of this anime. It starts off, right? This mysterious girl, she's chasing this guy through this alleyway. He runs into a dead end. No time wasted, she pulls out this blick. This little tattoo on the side of her hand glowing up. No word said. Bows, blasts him. He's done. Dead ass, he's out of there. The scene switches to our obvious protagonist of the show. And he's fighting this guy. Nigga has a knife. He's boxing him, folded him up, slammed on the ground. He's out of there. Now we learn that he's fighting this guy because he was attacking this injured guy. And he asked the injured guy, he's like, are you good? You straight? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna have to reward you for what you did though. So he digs in his bag, he pulls out this mysterious crystal looking thing, and he takes our main character's hand and he puts the tattoo right in his hand. And as he does that, that hole starts melting in his hand, right? And the main character's like, what's going on? And the dude, deadass, says, curiosity killed the cat, and walks off. Deadass. So this is just the introduction to the anime, first like minute. We actually get into the anime, right? And our main character, that we don't know his name yet, he's running, he's chasing after one of his friends that's telling him to hurry up. And I guess as he's running, the same mysterious girl that we seen earlier, she comes out of nowhere, she's not paying attention. He's like, move, move, move. He doesn't want to hit her. And out of nowhere, she just turns and sucker punches at him. He's gone. She's just right to his mouth, right? He goes flying. She goes, oh, I'm sorry. Goes over there, try to help him. She touches his hand, and both of their hands touch, and it like sets off like a spark, right? She doesn't say a word. Gets up, leaves. They go to school, fast forward, none of it matters. He gets out of school, he's walking home, right? This girl, same girl, comes out of nowhere, snatches his phone again. Snatches his phone. Not again, snatches his phone though. Takes off, 40-yard dash. Gone. He starts chasing after her. Chases her into a warehouse, right? He goes in there, oh, I know you're in here. You know, she's on her mysterious shit. She's sitting on top of a rail connected to the goddamn ceiling, reading out his federal name, Akaska Justice. And she jumps down there, you know, being federal and shit. Jumps down there, start asking him about the tattoos. What do you know about him? He's oblivious, don't know a goddamn thing. She's not going for it. She starts folding that nigga up. No cap, I mean folding him up. He is getting done horrendously. Right when it looks like she's about to pull out the KO blow on him, she's like, my bad, I didn't mean to, be so serious. She then proceeds to tell us about these tattoos and how they're a supernatural phenomenon. And when you activate it, you get drastic physical enhancements, right? She then pulls out some goddamn chalk and tells her that's her trigger. She places it in her hand. Next thing you know, she's compressing air. Throw that bitch up in the air like she Goku. Explosion. That ass. Now, as soon as you think we're getting some information, scene cut. Next thing we know, she's at the table with this random nigga, right? We finally learn her name is Izzy, right? And we learn this other guy his name is Tom. We find out that they're partners. They were sent here to retrieve tattoos. Now, he's complaining to Izzy, like, why didn't you apprehend that guy? Like, why you let him go? And she's like, bro, don't even worry about it. I got it, right? She then proceeds to stalk our main character, Justice, for 3 days. Kid you not, 3 days. Of course, he is very aware that she's stalking him. So he finally confronts her. They're having a conversation. She's talking about tattoos. He wants to know more information about tattoos, right? Mid-conversation, big bulky nigga come up. He's like, move out the way. That nigga Justice ain't going for it, right? That boy, he square up. He ready to get down. He folds that nigga up. Dead ass. Folds him up. Right? As soon as you think we good, next thing you see is this nigga Justice flying across the screen. He just got sent. Nigga back up. He starts activating his tattoo, right? You just see him. He's powering up. Right? Izzy's like, I got it. That nigga Justice was not going for that shit. He got right back up. He's like, no, this is my fight. They start boxing again, right? Man, I'm telling you, Justice putting these hands on this nigga. He's folding that nigga up. You think it's over once again. This nigga is the Undertaker, how he rises back up. He gets back up, and when I tell you, boy, completely 360 how he starts doing this nigga Justice. He's on this nigga. Minko. It looks grim for this nigga. I'm telling you, it looks grim. All of a sudden, this nigga Justice put his hand up, right? You know, on some protagonist shit. He got blood all over his hand. His tattoo come out. His tattoo start absorbing his blood. This big old black spear start coming out. Send that nigga flying. Gone. He look like he's done. He damn near look dead. Izzy and Tom, they're looking at each other. They're like, is that the Void Maker? The triggerless tattoo? Next thing you know, we're at Justice's house, right? And he's with Tom and Izzy. They basically revealing his tattoo and what's it about. They tell him it's the Void Maker, right? They tell him it basically creates a space and it swallows everything in that space. They tell him it's very uncontrollable and it's dangerous. They give him an option. They're like, hey, you either join the tattoo retrieval unit or we're going to chop off that hand and take that tattoo, right? This nigga basically don't got no choice. So he's like, okay, I'm going to join the army. I'm going to join you guys in the army. So they basically reveal who they are to him, Tom and Izzy. But we learned that that's not Izzy's real name. Her real name is Bluesy Fruzy. Deadass, that's her name, right? Scene cut. We got this woman in this goddamn palace, right? And we see this big old cat. Nigga got a nigga in his mouth. That ass, a dude is in his mouth, bleeding everywhere. She's talking to this butler guy, right? They're talking about how they just conquered this kingdom. And she turns to her cat and she's like, devour my father. That ass. He eats that nigga up like he's a fucking Lunchable. She turns back to the butler. She's like, it's time to move on to stage 2. He's like, as you wish, my princess. I'm fucking shocked. I'm like, okay. What the fuck is going on? We go back to goddamn Justice. He got a note from Izzy. She's like, come pull up to the secret hideout. We about to get you right? He goes over there, pulls up. We find out that his best friend was following him. She's stalking him now too. She's all like, oh, I don't like the way he's been acting. He's been acting weird. She's trying to get some information, right? On some clinky girlfriend shit, right? He goes in there. He's talking to Tom. Tom reveals that Izzy is not there. She's at the school, right? They're talking about some army shit. They get a knock on the door. Tom goes to open the door. Kid you not. Umbrella through the door. Right through his fucking stomach. That nigga's out. Justice walks up the stairs. He looks at the front door. Nigga is Toka, his best friend. He's fucking lost. He's shocked. Same time, while this is going on, we go back to Bluesy Fruzy. She's at the school doing nothing. Next thing you know, she gets a surprise attack. Whole side of the wall gone. Windows busted. Somehow she weaved it. We then pan to the guy that attacked her. He's talking about his name is Viper. He was sent by the princess. He's here to retrieve the triggerless tattoo. Basically the main character. He says nothing else. He has a whip. He starts whipping that bitch up like it's stir fry. Dead ass. Slashing everything up. Bro, I don't know how she dodged all that shit. She really need an award. But then she proceeds to jump out the side of the building, uses her body to like slide back into the next level underneath her. She's looking for a chalk. She finds some. This nigga Viper up here tearing all the floors up. He looking for her. She grabs a rock. I guess she puts some Gadis and it throws it up at the to the next level. That bitch exposed on impact. She's gone. She's out of there. She did the dash. She's gone. We go back to Justice, right? And he's still confused, bro. Tom is somehow still alive. He's telling him, bro, you need to run. She's an assassin from the kingdom. She's got sent to come kill you, bro. And he's like, that's my friend. That's Toka. And then she reveals that she's possessed her body, right? So, for some odd reason, Toka is inside her body creating a fucking havoc, trying to get her to get out. So I guess it gives her a headache. Tom's like, bro, hit that bitch now. He hit bust the shit out of her. Right? Tom somehow, with a gash in his stomach, gets up, and I guess it's revealed that he has fucking this temporary tattoo that pulls her possessed body, the girl that's possessing Toka, out the fucking way. I'm lost. I'm lost right now. I'm like, what is going on? She goes flying. She's on the ground. Tom's like, I heard about you before. You're Schrodinger's cat. She does not want to hear none of that. She gets up with 2 swords. She goes straight for Tom's neck. Justice come out of nowhere, pull him out the way. Takes a sword strike with his hand. But he's hot. He's mad. He's like, how dare you bring Toka into this? He's ready to kill her. He starts aiming a Void Maker. Because he got cut in his hand. He got blood. He starts aiming that mug like a key blast. Right before he about to throw that mug, right before it's about to go off, Toka move him out the way. Oh no, don't kill her. Void Maker go in the air. Take out half the house. Schrodinger's cat, she's about to slice him. She had to get out the way. She jump out the way 30 foot vertical onto the next damn house. She's stunned. She get a call from Viper. He's like, did you kill him? She's like, no, I didn't. He's like, pull out, get out of there, because Bluesy Fruzy's on the way. I don't think you can handle her. She not trying to hear that. She was trying to go right back in there, finish the deal. He's like, bro, get out of there. She dips. So with half of the house gone, they're in the basement. They got like a secret hideout thing in the basement. They're in the basement. They're talking. Toga got a tattoo on her forehead now from being possessed. Nobody knows what it is. Tom has never seen anything like it. Izzy never seen anything like it. Tom also reveals that he has a temporary tattoo that can nullify other people's tattoo with contact. That's how he pulled the girl out the body. Right? So, get a bunch of random information about tattoos, some more shit, some army shit, nothing else important. Izzy goes and meets up with this girl. They're talking about getting backup people for the army now that they know that the princess is here and that they're targeting the triggerless tattoo, targeting the main character. So they're cooking some stuff up. Bro, I kid you not. The very next scene, we see some backup soldiers and the girl that Izzy was just talking to, right? We see a helicopter. Guess who's in the helicopter? Schrodinger's cat. She jumps out the helicopter, full dives into the building. I'm not saying that she like blasted through that mug, nigga. She shifted through the building. I'm like, well, what is going on? She shifted through the building, bro. Like, what's that nigga name for My Hero? That she pulled that shit out. She come through the other side of the wall. She just chopping niggas out. They cannot hang with her. She is slicing and dicing people. One of the soldiers, he get to this emergency button. He press it. 2 seconds later, she cuts that nigga dead. So I guess the emergency button gives Tom a notification. He hits up Izzy. He's like, bro, something's going down. He gives her the address where they're at. She takes off. She's on her way. She's gone. Now, while she's on her way, it's a 1v1 between the girl that Izzy was talking to and Schrodinger's cat. When I'm telling you, the other girl, she started firing blast off like her name was Mustang, flicking them hoes. I kid you not. Blast, blast, blast. Schrodinger's cat, she moving through them hoes. She is not getting touched. She is low-key whooping her shit. Now, Izzy, she was at school, and Justice seen her take off, so that nigga takes off right behind her. Yeah, she's running, she's trying to get there. Izzy's trying to get there. She's jumping on these buildings, running around like her name's fucking Naruto Uzumaki. And she sees Viper. He's waiting for her on the building. She's about to fight that nigga, and he activates this like bomb that nullifies, I don't know, it's like this thing that nullifies tattoos in the radius, right? So he's like, I would kill you, but I'm not gonna kill you like this. That's messed up. So he's like, just be patient, stay here. Justice comes, he sees Izzy just sitting there. He's like, what's going on? She's like, go ahead, don't worry about me, hurry up. You gotta go help him. So he takes off, he goes. He's trying to get there in time. By the time Justice gets there, Schrodinger cat and the girl, they're just on the roof. They're waiting for this helicopter to come pick him up. Justice gets up there, he's not playing no games. He wants straight hands. He's like, I'm gonna kill you. He tries to fade her up. Nigga, she sends that nigga flying off the side of the building. He's free falling off the side of that hole. This nigga Tom out of nowhere grabs him out the air, pulls him on the side of the goddamn building. I don't know who this nigga Tom is, bro. This nigga's something different. Tom tells him, like, bro, you can't hang with her. So they let them go. So they go back to the hideout, you know, to talk about some things. They get some information that there might be a boat at the port that's trying to leave. Izzy's like, y'all ain't leaving with my friend. So she dips out the door. She's like, I'm on that. So Toka and Justice come in and they're like, what's going on? And Tom's like, you know, Izzy going to take care of those people that you just seen. You're not going. They strap him up in a chair. Tom straps him up in a chair with some handcuffs. Nigga, Justice he's not okay with that. Nigga busts open the handcuffs. Dead ass. Then he sleeps Tom, right? Sleeps Tom. They try to leave to go help Izzy. They can't get out the basement because the door won't open. They don't know how to open the door. So remember this. This nigga Justice takes his void maker. He aims it out at the door, right? And I kid you not, he erases the whole house again. Remember that. Remember that, bro. Now you may be thinking how I was thinking when I was watching this anime. Hezzy God, this doesn't sound so bad. Now, buckle up. Because everything after this point, this anime started to show its true colors. The true reason why it's a 5.74. Izzy and some soldiers, they're waiting for Schrodinger's cat and Viper to pull up to this port. Right? Which they eventually do. They pull up. Now Viper, he sees Izzy and he's already on go. He wants to fight already. He hops out that car. He's ready to go. Schrodinger's cat, she jump out the back. She's like, I'm gonna go handle all the niggas on the perimeter. She does it. She's out of there. So all the people with Izzy, they pull up the guns. They start blinking at Viper. He activates his tattoo and he got this power to nullify shit that come in a certain radius. Like not a single bullet touched them. So them niggas are out of luck. Viper then proceeds to kill all them NPC ass shooters. It's just him and Izzy. Now why he did that, Izzy fucking disappeared. Next thing we know, she diving out the sky, hit this nigga with a flying knee right to the mouth. Why she hit this nigga with the knee? She pull out the blade, bow, bow, bow to the side of his head, dead ass. Now you literally see this nigga get hit through the side of his head. You think he's done? No, he's not. He's still alive. He's still alive. You can literally see the bullet hole on the side of his head. He's still alive. I don't know. We then cut to Schrodinger's cat dropping NPCs, right? Justice gets there and he sees Schrodinger's cat. He's already on go. He been saying how he wants to kill her since he first saw her. He's already squared up. They start boxing. Schrodinger's cat is not playing with that nigga. She literally dropped him like a fucking fly. He's done. Tom is at the secret base watching all this shit unfold. He then calls Toka and he's like, give the phone to Justice. She gives the phone to Justice. Now, he tells Justice how to counter her ability where she's phasing through the walls, right? He's like, you just cannot be looking at her when she goes to phase through the wall, right? So he's like, okay, let's try. So she goes to phase through the wall, right? And he closes his eyes. But Toka's still looking at her. So she's going to come out the wall and slash the fuck out that nigga. Whole stomach gone. So you're like, whole stomach gone? This nigga still alive? I kid you not. This nigga gets an inner monologue with his inner tattoo. They're talking to him like, you're gonna kill her, blah, 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 just some crazy shit. This nigga gets a power up, right? He gets up, he takes his hand, puts it to his stomach, and the same nigga that negated the whole house, negated the cut in his stomach. I can't make this shit up. This nigga couldn't negate a door, but he can negate a cut in his stomach. He then gets up, right? And in the craziest fight that I ever seen, he uses his void maker on the ground, right? Toka and Schrodinger's cat fall. This nigga jumps into the hole, right? Schrodinger's cat is already falling, and somehow he gets to the bottom of the ground before she fell. I'd like, how does this shit make sense? He then throws his void maker, right? I'm lost. He throws the void maker and it destroys her blade and nothing else. And she lands right into this nigga's fist. Like, what am I watching? What am I watching? I'm sitting here lost. I'm in distraught. I'm like, what happened to the show that I was watching? This is not what I signed up for. But it's not over. It gets worse than this. So with that one punch, Justice fucking KOs that bitch. She's laid out on the ground. She can't get back up. She's done. This nigga Justice has been talking about killing her the whole show. When he finally got her on the ground, now he wants to spear her. Now he wants to spear her. The princess, she comes out of nowhere. She says something. I forgot what she said. Not important. This nigga turns around. She dead ass grabs this nigga and kisses him. I'm not making this shit up. I'm not. And then she takes Schrodinger's cat and she's like, oh, we gotta go. And they did. Now we go back to Viper and Izzy. They fighting, right? Viper is folding this nigga out. She's folding this. She didn't figure out his ability. She started blinking that nigga. Bow, 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 bow. He's getting rocked. As soon as it looked like Viper's about to lose the fight, he activates that goddamn same relic that nullifies the tattoos. He goes, he picks up a gun, and as soon as he's about to blick up Izzy, the same girl that they captured, she was locked in the car. She got out. She comes behind this nigga, kicks him in the back, right? Some random ass soldiers come out of nowhere, start blicking this nigga up on the ground, right? I'm telling you, he had to take at least 30 bullets. He had to take at least 30 bullets, right? You're thinking, all right, this nigga's done, right? That's what you're thinking, right? They wrap him up. Things is looking good. The princess comes. She picks this nigga up. She's like, looks like you guys won this time. Adios. And they're like, hold the fuck up. Where you going? Right? And she's like, you don't want to fuck with me. And she flexes this big ass fucking monster. I don't know what type of power she got. She just flexed this big old monster. They're like, what the fuck is that? So they don't want no smoke. They just let her go. I'm like, okay. I need a moment. Pause. I'm lost. Right? I don't get a moment. Because the next scene, Justice and Toka, they're walking around. And guess who they run into? They run into Princess and Schrodinger's cat, right? And you're like, oh my God, is another fight about to break down? I wish it did. Because what happened doesn't even make fucking sense. Now Toka sees them and she tells this nigga Justice, she pulls up a fucking list and she's like, go buy the items on this list. And this nigga Justice is like, what are you talking about? And she's like, go buy the items on this list. And this nigga leaves her to go buy the items on the list. And I'm just thinking like, he's gonna leave her to get folded up? That's what's going through my head. And then Toka says, I challenge you, princess. Right, so I'm thinking, oh, she's folded. She's done. She's about to get folded up. Right then and here. When I tell you the next scene, nigga, they're playing fucking table tennis. Like, what? You were just fighting these niggas to the death and now y'all playing table tennis? And this isn't even the craziest part. They have conditions. If either one of them wins, there's conditions, right? I'm not even gonna tell you what the conditions were. I'm just gonna play them. After this pointless ass table tennis match, Justice comes back and proceeds to have a pointless ass conversation with the princess. We don't get any information out of this conversation. He sits down with the princess and we get no valuable information. It's a pointless conversation, right? The conversation ends, they go their separate ways, right? Princess is walking away. We then see this mysterious guy hiding behind a tree. He then says to the princess, is that the third? And the princess, yeah, she's like, yeah, that's the third. He just needs some guidance, right? We don't really get any valuable information. out that conversation either. Scene cut. Next thing we know, Justice is with this random guy. You're like, what? The same random guy that was just talking to the princess? Yes, that same random guy. I guess this random guy took Justice to the main research facility of the kingdom, and they're gonna raid and destroy the facility. All right. So you're thinking, okay, this guy's good. We don't know yet. So they go inside the facility, right? We get some information here because the main researcher, the chief researcher of the facility, tells us that this random guy's name is BB, and he's a traitor of the kingdom. So he used to work for the kingdom. He did some treacherous things. He got the fuck up out of there. Now the princess wants him dead. So after this research scene, some fights happen. We're not going to talk about it. Side stuff that doesn't matter. After this research scene, Izzy finds this guy BB, and they have a conversation. We learn that Izzy and BB have some history. BB used to work in the U.S. Army, and then he left, but he never told Izzy why. So she was questioning him, trying to figure out why he left, but he wasn't trying to have that conversation. What he told Izzy, though, is the princess's whole plan that he learned from being undercover in her facility, her little group, right? The princess is trying to gather all the relics. There's 4 of them. She already has 2 relics. There's one in Japan and there's one in America. There's 2 left. She already knows where the one in Japan is. He tells Izzy, do not challenge her in Japan. She's 5 steps ahead of you guys here. Go to America and secure the one in America. That's what he tells Izzy. So why do I click on the next episode of this goddamn anime? And guess what? Look at me in my eyes. Guess what they're doing? They're in helicopters. Toka, the main character, Izzy, Tom, 8 other side niggas with tattoos. They're in helicopters, and guess where they're going? I bet you can guess. I bet you can guess where they're going. They went to the fucking relic in Japan. Like, why would you tell me about BB? Why would BB have this conversation with you if you're just gonna do exactly what he told you not to do? They get there. There's this woman named Cal. BB warned Izzy about Cal. He says she got the strongest tattoo out of all Japan. Not a single US nigga can hang with her. That's what he tells Izzy. But she still pulls up, right? She thinks just because she got more people with tattoos, they can hang with her. When I tell you Cal come out there folding these niggas up left and right. Nigga walks up to her, instantly folds that nigga up. He's dead. Cut his head off. Dead ass. He's done. These niggas are struggling to hang with Cal, right? So the princess, she's underground trying to get this relic. She's trying to get the power from the relic. It's a process she has to go through, right? So she sends Stranger's cat to go up there and help Cal. So now Cal was already whooping these niggas, and she sends the cat girl up there, right? This is the same girl with the power to possess people, with the power to go through things, right? Guess why she comes up here? She comes up there, and guess what she does? She turns into a big old cat. Like, I'm failing to understand the power system in this goddamn anime. At first you told me they only got one ability. Why does shit keep happening? Why do they just keep getting random powers? I don't understand. So, if you thought Cal was just folding them niggas up, the cat came up there and started folding them up some more. It's looking grim for these niggas, right? You're like, Hezzy, what's the main character doing? The main character got folded up by Cal in 2 seconds. He didn't even swing a single punch. He's laying on the ground, folded up. I kid you not. He's laying on the ground, folded up, right? Cal is working everybody. The commander of the army, he jumps out the helicopter. He's like, looks like I need to come down here and handle some shit. Tell me why Cal folds this nigga up too. And then she folds up Izzy. Izzy's folded up, right? She's about to kill Izzy, and BB, goddamn Superman, comes out of nowhere and saves the day. BB comes out of nowhere and saves Izzy. BB is the only nigga in the army that can hang with Cal. This nigga is hanging with Cal. He's trying his best. Look at me. He's trying his best. Everybody's getting folded. BB is the only nigga fighting. The only nigga fighting, right? The princess finishes her relic power absorption thingy, right? She comes up and she sees Justice laying on the ground, right? And she proceeds to talk her shit to this nigga. She's talking her shit. And this nigga gets mad. He tries to sneak her shit. Tell me why she posters this nigga. She puts this nigga, she crucifies this nigga. Dead ass. She puts him on a rock, arms out, legs together, like he's Jesus Christ, and stake that nigga up. I kid you not. The main character has done nothing this entire time. I wish I was joking. I wish I was joking. BB then gets sent flying right in front of this nigga. Right in front of this nigga Justice staked up in the princess. BB is still fighting Cal, right? He starts talking about his source. He starts talking to his inner source and about how the tattoos have an inner source. And he starts talking to his source and saying, lend me more power before I die. It's the least you can do. So I guess his inner source just lends him power out of the blue air. So he starts hanging with Cal a little bit. But Cal ain't phased. Cal proceeds to keep handling this nigga like he's light work. So you're like, what happens here, Hezzy? It looks like they're fucking grim. A miracle. Another miracle happened. This nigga, the main character, starts talking to his source. And his source just randomly grants him a fucking big old void ball out the air. Right? And this nigga Cal takes the ball and like absorbs it and gets more power. And then he folds Cal up. I'm lost. Right? So he folds Cal up. Cal's not dead, but she's out. She's out of commission, right? Then this nigga's BB's source starts to devour him. Now BB is telling this nigga Justice, devour my source. Devour me before the source devours me. So Justice doesn't want to do it. Then BB tells Justice's source to devour him. So Justice's source comes out of the thin air, appears out of nowhere, and devours this nigga BB. I kid you not. I kid you not. And you're like, Hezzy, what else happens here? Oh, the cherry on top. Toka is running out the forest, right? She sees this nigga Justice, and she starts screaming. So you're telling me you see this nigga Justice laying on the ground, powerless. You see this nigga Izzy laying on the ground, halfway dead. You see the princess in good standing. She's standing. She looks perfectly fine. And you're telling me you're going to come out the forest screaming this nigga's name? I kid you not. The cat bitch came out of nowhere and ate that bitch. I kid you not. She came out of nowhere and ate Toka right in front of this nigga Justice. And then you know what happened? The princess proceeds to tell this nigga, I'm going to make your life a living hell. You're going to be hellbound on revenge. And then leaves. It leaves that nigga there with Izzy. Him, Izzy, and like 2 other niggas are the only people alive. Out of everybody who came, everybody else died. So you're like, this story sounds like it's over. Man, I wish it was over. I wish. So then, the same guy at the beginning of the story that gave Justice the fucking tattoo, he was working with BB behind the scenes. They made this device to capture BB's memories, and for some reason, this device is supposed to help Justice understand the situation more. So then we get a whole episode in BB's memories, and we learn that he went to the kingdom because he was a spy for the army. He learned about all this information before it happened, and then he escaped. That's basically what we learned. That's basically it. Tell me why it's episode 10. Look me in my eyes. It is episode 10 in a 12 episode series. You're not going to believe what happened. At the beginning of this episode, I see Justice and Toka. And guess what they're doing? They're fishing. You're like, Hezzy, what's wrong with fishing? Toka proceeds to say, it's been a year since that incident. Nigga, you're telling me I just seen a year time skip in a 12 episode series? What? I'm done, bro. I still got 2 more episodes to watch. I'm losing my mind. But it's not over. There's more to this insane story. Just you wait. So basically, in this year, this nigga Justice has been training. He has learned how to control the second Void Maker that he got from devouring BB. Then, out of nowhere, the princess provokes them. She sends them this CD. And it basically says she's going to be going to the Grand Canyon to try to get the last relic. So, at this point, I'm thinking like, these niggas aren't protecting the one in the Grand Canyon? No, they're not. They're not protecting it. They just want her to go get it. So she sends them a warning saying, I'm about to go get it, because she doesn't care. Right? So they boot up, they head to America to go protect the Grand Canyon one. Right? She's already there. So it's the same situation. It's the same situation that happened in the forest, right? Now, when I tell you there's a whole bunch of side fights, this nigga Viper and Izzy fought again. I don't even want to talk about this. We got introduced to like 3 more characters. I don't even want to talk about them. Let's just talk about how this show fucking ends. This nigga, Justice, he finds Cal, right? Cal's protecting the princess once again, right? But this time, and since the last fight, BB destroyed Cal's tattoo power, I guess. She can't use her tattoo power anymore. But now she has this thing called a noise canceller, and it cancels tattoos out. But it's in her body. It's like the machine that Viper had, but now it's in her body. So now Justice has to fight her with just hands. Neither one of them can use their powers, right? She still got her sword and shit, so they're fighting. He's getting folded up. He finally makes the 3-1 comeback. He defeats Cal. Now he has to go fight the princess, right? The princess has already acquired the last relic. She has all the power. She's like Thanos with all the rings, right? That's what she is right now. She's folding this nigga up. He stands no chance. I mean, he's getting folded. He's getting bodied. He literally does not stand a chance with both of his Void Makers. They're not doing shit to her. So, the rest, I guess everybody wins their fights this time. Izzy, she wins her fight. The side character wins this fight. Tom is still here. Everybody's here. It's like a 5v1 against the princess, right? They still can't handle her. So then, out of nowhere, in this fucking cursed plot, the Dr. Wiseman, that's the name of the guy that gave him the tattoo at the beginning, right? That was helping BB. This nigga gave Justice poison. And because, if you remember, because the princess kissed him, they were linked, right? I'm trying to make this make sense. This is what the show said. If I'm confused, I know you're going to be confused. I'm sorry. They're linked somehow. I don't know. So he activates the poison inside this nigga body, and the source starts to overtake both of them. So it starts overtaking the princess. It starts overtaking this nigga Justice, right? So now they're having a fucking mecha fight in these big old source things. I don't even know, bro. They're fighting this. I'm lost. I'm lost. So Segi's out of control. He's getting devoured by his source. He gets no control. But since the princess has these 4 relics, she still has control over her body. It's not her kryptonite, right? So somewhere in this fight, this nigga Justice controls his source, and he gains control over his mech body. And he's fighting the princess. And somewhere in the fight, he just wins. He just starts beating her up and he wins, right? You're like, is the princess dead? No. Right before he hits her with the finishing blow, she teleports away. The army's like, yeah, we won, yeah. And tell me why this show tried to preview for a season 2 at the end. Like, nigga, nobody wants that shit, bro. No one wants it. When I tell you, this was the worst anime experience I've ever had in my life. I struggled. It was genuinely painful for me to get through the last 6 episodes of this anime. And it started off so good. Now, if you made it to the end of this video, you deserve a pat on the back for sitting through this crazy ass plot. I appreciate you. Now, if you think you know an anime that's worse than this, I don't know if I could do it, but I'll try. Taboo Tattoo is officially the worst anime I ever watched. I don't care if it had good animation. I don't care. It was the most awful plot I've ever witnessed in my life. The worst plot I've ever sat through and watched ever in my life. But guys, that's Taboo Tattoo. And this whole, however long this video is, this is the reason why this anime is the definition of.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie.